Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
Is always getting his own coffee from the staff room, and by the time he got back to his own office, most of it was empty. Because he used to spill it all up and down the corridor.
Rooney, in 3 words.
Courteous, friendly, clever.
And what event or achievement would you most remember Trevor for?
I can remember Trevor when he got his PhD. He rushed into the staff room and said, "Anybody want to buy this? Nobody cares about it here."
Doctor Who?
That's right.
Doctor Who?
You're going to have the 3 seconds of thinking.
I'm not doing my face.
What would you like to ask me?
Describe Trevor Trudy in 3 words.
Conscientious, thorough and professional.
And what event or achievement will you most remember Trevor for?
Probably a series of events. His chairing of an academic board, I think, would be an outstanding series of events rather than one particular.
And where do you think you'll go to from here?
Where do I think he'll go to from here?
Yeah.
I'll probably be running Department of Foreign Affairs in Canberra.
Jason's going.
Very well.
Describe Trevor.
Okay. Whenever you like.
Helpful. Is it one term for Trevor's? Helpful, sensitive, and
Short.
I said something.
You only got 3 hours of tape on this. Yeah. You can laugh all you like.
What's the other one?
What event or achievement will you most remember Trevor for?
Oh, when he called his wife Mary, and his students picked him up and wanted to be introduced to Mary when Shamal was standing there.
Wrong.
Go up and check up on it. Tell me when.
I've told you when. It's already going.
Yeah.
So ask the question, Sid. What is the question?
Describe Trevor Trudy in 3 words.
A listener, compassionate and caring.
And what event or achievement will you most remember Trevor for?
Trevor personally opened my eyes when I was one of his students to other worldviews apart from my own.
And where do you think Trevor will go on to from here?
Greater things. Hopefully not that big classroom in the sky too quickly.
Well, we don't want a half-hour speech, you know.
Yes.
Just describe Trevor Trudy in 3 words.
Professional, convivial, compassionate.
And what do you most remember Trevor for? An event or an achievement?
Probably for the establishment of faculty, but also for the personal help that he gave me in time of great stress.
And where do you think you'll go to from here?
I think he'll find something useful and create another pathway for himself through life.
The interviewer being interviewed. Sid, what do you think, how could you describe Trevor Trudy?
I think he's intelligent, I think he's resourceful, and I think he's deeply caring.
Okay. I don't know. What do you remember Trevor for?
Convivial events in July 1976 at the Sydney Spate Conference, and I can't go into any further detail without embarrassing both he and I.
Okay. Where do you think Trevor's going to from here?
I think that he is really going to enjoy himself from now on in a way in which Hawthorne has not allowed him to enjoy himself up until now.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Helpful. A great colleague. An interview. It was terrible.
What was he like?
Oh, nice, kindly man.
Yeah. Why was it terrible?
Because I was scared.
Okay. And where do you think Trevor will go to from here?
Off to Oxford.
In 3 words. Go for it.
Trevor Trudy, one of the finest administrators I think that the Institute has had the privilege to know.
That's about 8 words.
Too many words. Trevor, a person I think who will be sorely missed by the Institute, has really contributed a great deal to the Institute over a period of 15 or so years.
I know you can't do it because you can't think of anything to do with Trevor. You can never remember the first time you met Trevor, can you? Not at all.
One of my strongest memories of Trevor is at the Sydney Spate Conference.
That's exactly the same thing as I said.
Why is that your strongest memory?
However, can you remember when you were a student at Melbourne University?
Yes, and Trevor was my method lecturer who came out to crit my lessons.
Did he give you a good crit? Oh, well, you're a good teacher.
Of course.
Was he a good teacher trainer?
Yeah.
All right. Any other events you remember about Trevor?
No, the strongest one is the Spate conference in Canberra.
Why? In Sydney.
Oh, in Sydney, was it?
And also, can you please tell us where you think Trevor's going to go from here? What's he going to do? What's in store for him?
The world.
And I think Trevor Petruni and the college as it is today are virtually, I shouldn't say this, but one and the same, because the college, I suppose, today is not as Trevor would have liked to have seen it, but it certainly is a place which bears his mark. And I say that in a very positive way, that most of the positive things...
So describe him in 3 words.
Oh, that's too hard. Me, who's usually got the gift of the gab.
One word.
One word.
No, the immediate word that came to mind was survivor, and I can't think of any other.
The achievement.
No.
When did you first meet him?
Oh, wait a minute. Eunice?
Yeah.
No, interviewed me before I joined the staff.
Oh, was he a good interviewer?
He was wonderful. Yes, he was a very good interviewer. He wanted to know all about me and what I'd done and what I thought the hell I was going to do here. Yes, it was very good.
So where do you think you'll go to from here?
Where do I think who?
Trevor, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who? I think Trevor's going to have even greater success than he had here. I think he's got a heap of talents that were never ever recognised, or a heap of achievements that were never ever recognised.
Books on Lebanon.
And where do you think he's going to go to from here?
Lebanon.
Was that he was the only one here who actually did something about the history in TAFE instead of only worrying about how many students from TAFE we were getting.
In my time here, have been affected in some way by Trevor.
So that's sort of 300 words rather than 3. Could you just give us a short incident that you can remember about Trevor?
A short incident. No, Trevor's kept his, kept a reasonably good image in the place. He's always been seen to be a person who has been particularly busy, either academically or politically.
Because there was all this crashing going on in his wardrobe in his office. And there was another incident I described, but I can't really repeat that.
I suppose... Oh, geez, don't put this on tape. To have his office on this floor.
What was that?
No, I can't. Another institution was attractive.
Trevor, first of all, I think Trevor displayed the essential adherence of a good teacher. He used to get excited about ideas, but probably, as any man of passion is, he also used to get excited about women and also excited about the neck oil as well. I can never forget one day when Trevor and I were travelling around northeast Victoria. He'd never actually been to Bailey's, but he'd never tasted the liquid gold of the northeast. So on the way back from an arduous assignment, up in Wodonga and Albury, we called into Bailey's, and Trevor got stuck into the liqueur muscat, the Tokay, the vintage port, and I think even though I've seen him in many ways and many years excited over ideas and women, I don't think I've ever seen him so excited as he was over Bailey's liqueur muscat.
So where do you think you'll go to from here?
Where will he go to from here? Well, I believe there are some good grape growing areas in Beirut.
Although he could very easily go on to a completely new career, because he's still a young man and very well qualified and extremely well experienced. I think.
So where do you think Trevor will go to from here?
Where to from here?
Yeah.
I thought he was coming back here.
Doctor Who. Lovable. And always the worker's friend.
And can you remember any particular event or achievement that you remember?
The thing I remember about Trevor is that he's very friendly. When he took his promotions, he didn't get snobby.
Good. And where do you think you'll go to from here?
Home.
This is fantastic.
A little bloke.
And can you remember a particular event or achievement that sticks in your mind about Trevor?
Oh, his achievement in getting the senior lectureships for on the basis of people's service
and merit.
And merit.
So where do you think you'll go to from here?
Lebanon.
Fun, faculty, and a good fella.
Great. And any particular achievements, events, incidents?
I think some of the funny things I remember Trevor for are in restaurants and pubs.
Like what?
Oh, like the time that he put the chair on the waiter's foot down here at the Riversdale and was totally unaware of it and went on a conversation. The bloke went red.
So where do you think you'll go to from here?
I think he'll go into the hospitality industry.
3 words. Trevor Batruni.
Spilled coffee.
One more.
Sociology.
Right. And can you remember a particular event or achievement?
Trevor interviewing me.
Was that a good interview?
That was a good interview.
Was he a good interviewer?
No.
Where do you think he's going to go to from here?
To a Carlton premiership on a half-back flank.
Three words. Trevor in 3 words.
You started yet?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gasping around for some words. First-rate chap.
Good. Okay.
That's it.
Can you remember an incident with Trevor? Anything?
No, he's not been particularly memorable in that sense.
Great. Where do you think you'll go to from here?
He will only go upwards, I'm sure of it.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Terry? I mean,
who is this person we're talking about?
Yeah, and who do you think it is?
I've no idea. I've no idea. Who is it? Doctor Who? He's all over him. Get him. He's the one.
No, say Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Talking about
word association. Batruni.
Batruni is A. That's the 3 words. Is A what? That's you said 3 words. Batruni is A.
Pop out again, Bucks.
That's all I've got to say.
Those days when we went down to the CAF to form the Faculty of Teacher Education and all the rest of it, you don't remember any of that.
Batruni is A. Forget it.
Now.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Just say Doctor Who as if you're asking a question.
To you? Doctor Who.
Do you want to say 3 words about Trevor Batruni? 3 words.
Old Patroni. I'll never forget him. One of the greatest Irishmen to work around this place. I tell you that.
Ask the question.